be that core thing you wear and love, don't wait. All right, now, the necklace is completely sold out of that piece, so we're going to get rid of that. Do I still have the earrings? I think that's a mini miracle if I have the earrings left. This is it. The earrings are totally sold out. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got the cuff and we have the ring. Let me give you quick details. The cuff, fits basically everything. The ring is size 5 through 12. And I have flex pay on both of these. So you can
go true to size on this ring.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Go true to size. It's fine.
It doesn't have the cigar, the really big shank on it. But these, again, okay, this is another one of those things. It's Spiny Oyster. Only comes from one region, comes from the Sierra Cortez in the Baja Peninsula of Mexico. It comes in orange, it comes in red, and it comes in purple. What you're seeing here is just the actual shell, and they call it Spiny Oyster because it literally has quills. It has spines,
like little spikies, right?
And it's protected. They don't. They only allow them to harvest it twice a year. The Spiny Oyster, the Spiny Oyster. This goes back. They talk about flashbacks. Okay, how I first got
non-drug induced. Is that what
non-drug induced? Okay, non-drug induced.
Just
flashbacks. But we used to go when I was in college. I went to school in Las Cruces, New Mexico, in college, and during certain times in the breaks and everything, we'd take our dive gear, we'd hop in the van, and we would drive down to Mexico, and we would go down to San Carlos and Guaymas, and we would dive off the beach there. And back in the day, you could actually live on the beach. We'd have a campfire. We never would even think about staying in a hotel. I mean, that was so far. We would go bum people to, so they would fill up our scuba tanks and stuff, and we would dive for our dinner and everything. And at that time, I'm talking in the early 70s, okay, at that time, you would go down the beach at night, and there would be these piles of this Spiny Oyster. There would be piles of it because at that time, they used it. They just ate the oyster. They had no purpose for the shell. So there was piles of it. So how did this become a jewelry product? Because of people like me, okay? We would fill up the back of the van with these oyster shells, and then we would go back and we were cutting all the puka shell, and we were cutting turquoise, we were cutting all this stuff. So we started cutting necklaces out of the Spiny Oyster. And so now, though, people realize now this stuff is like liquid gold. They only let them harvest it twice a year. They have a very strict limits on it. They can only harvest in certain areas, and you have to be grandfathered into it. And once you stop diving, once you lose your quota, it's almost like the crab in Alaska. You know how they're doing the quota system up there? Yeah. Once you don't do it, or you don't make your quota, or you don't maybe you don't show up that year, you're done. They're out. Wow. And then they don't increase the other people's quota. They still leave it. And so, it's getting really tight and tough to get this material. This is Spiny Oyster. And then I got to messing with it. Everything I do is by luck. Like most of my life, like my dad used to say, better be lucky than good,
Right, exactly.
And so I've been totally lucky in my entire life. And so what we've done is we were playing with this, and I had all this spiny, and I'm buffing it off and thinking, God, this is so cool. It's so big, but it has the holes in it for where the spines were. And they're deeper than that. And I was thinking, you know what? I started inlaying Sleeping Beauty in this, and because I had all these little small Sleeping Beauty pieces, and then I said, this is cool. People are going to buy this, and sure enough, I mean, when we put this on, like Suzanne was telling you, we put it on. We put the bracelet and the ring.